Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy, and this is the Ask Videomail for the week of June 4th, 2012. Welcome to the site to the new members, and welcome back to the old members. The Ask Videomail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it, so please send me your questions to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. It's the best way to get the most out of your subscription, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. Please send one in if you haven't already, especially if you are on a trial. It is really satisfying to get your question answered on the site, so go ahead and send it in if you haven't already. And come on, you can send me a Maya file, which is really cool, so I can open up your file on screen and we can all go through it together. So that is the spiel, that is the shtick. I'm probably saying that in my sleep by now. Maybe at SIGGRAPH or maybe at CTN I'll have a contest to see who can go through the entire beginning of the Videomail spiel, start to finish without screwing up, and give out an awesome prize or something. I don't know. I'll consider it. So anyway, this Videomail, well, let me give you some news first. First little piece of news is that well, it's a big piece of news. It's awesome. Let's get excited. The affiliate program, I'm almost done setting up the affiliate program on KennyRoy.com. And what that is, well, you'll get an email about it and you'll see a lot of promotion for the affiliate program. But let me just tell you in this Videomail what it is real quick. It is basically your way to get a unique ID on the site that you can use to give out the link to KennyRoy.com. You can give out the link to the store, and you can also give out the link to the main sign-up page. And what it does is if your affiliate ID is used, you will get a commission on the sign-up. And I think I'm going to do pretty much a 33%, so like a 1/3 commission on all of the member plans and all of the products in the store, and a 50% commission on Videomail archives, because the Videomail archives don't sell as well as the lecture archives. It's a little bit of an incentive for you to push those a little bit more. So it's very simple. Let's say you sign up 10 people with the affiliate program, then you will get a 33% commission. It's about $30, so a month per user. So if you sign up 10 people, you'll get a $100 check at the end of every single month. It's not just one time. It's a commission on that user's entire subscription, however long they stay signed up on the course. All right, so if you think about it, you can start adding up here. So it's a great way to earn some money and be a part of the site, and also pretty much pay for the site yourself if you need a little bit of help with that. Maybe your commissions will cover the subscription fee for you. So I think it's very exciting. I think it's a lot of fun, and I do think that it will motivate a lot of people to get out there and spread the word about KennyRoy.com. Anyone can be an affiliate, anyone at all. So the only thing that I ask is that you don't like spam forums, because that'll basically devalue the site and devalue this entire program. This should be something where you actually are person to person, talking with either individuals or groups who you know, and trying to get them to look at the site and consider signing up. And then when they've decided that they're going to, they use your affiliate ID. Okay? So I think you're going to be stoked to try this out, and so look for the affiliate announcement on the main page, the affiliate login, and the affiliate sign up on the main menu. Sorry, over here, and we'll just have a lot of fun together and just work it. Okay, so look out for that. Thank you for your attention. Let's see. There's another video put out for Animalia 2012, which I am doing in the Czech Republic. We are animating a short film together. I am starting that short film as well as The Little Painter right now. So that's exciting. Last year I only did one short film, and it was for basically a producer, like a private client, and now I'm doing 2 of my own. So ain't that some cool beans? Let's get to the Videomail. it's a good one, pretty technical, but also a goodie. So let's take a look. Well, I had to paraphrase it just a little bit, but I can talk about the expanded, the full question here right now. Basically, this animator didn't feel that I covered all of the bases in the constraints lecture, and you know what? Just to be totally honest with you, I didn't, because there are a million bases to cover. There's every single constraint setup that you could possibly imagine. You know, you can't cover in one lecture. But I want to just reiterate one kind of concept, one way of thinking about the difference between a constraint and a parent or a group. And hopefully when I explain this one difference and this way of thinking, it will be finally like the last piece that you need to feel like you have every single way of thinking about these under control. Okay? So the way that I want you to think about a parent is almost like a container, okay? And a constraint is like a stick, okay? It's like a stick that is not bending and immobile, okay? So let's take a look right here. If we have a parent, let's say this sphere right here is the parent of this box, okay? Basically, think about it, instead of there being a link between them, think about it as the box riding around inside the sphere. And the sphere, its influence is active outside of the sphere as well, okay, as well as inside, but also outside. But don't think about it as a link. Think about it as the sphere is the sphere kind of creates a space around it that's almost like Jello, okay? And you can move through Jello, but if you have this bowl of Jello with two objects in it and you move the bowl, okay, basically the sphere, the square is going to go with it. It's going to travel with it as well, okay? So think of it as almost a container, all right? So it's putting one object in the container of another, okay? So here's the sphere, all right? And here's your cube, and it's riding around in the container. Okay, this is like a container that's attached. Okay, so when you move the sphere around, the container goes with it, and so does the objects that are parented underneath, or in other words, children or a child of your parent object here. Okay. So don't think of it as a link, all right? It's not a link. A constraint is a link, but what kind of link is it, okay? It's not a string, okay? Because a string can bend, and you can move the object closer to the parent and move it further away, and the string will stretch, okay? It's not a string. It's not a chain either, because same thing, even though a chain can't move any further, it won't stretch, it can still bend and whatever. It's a rigid, it's like nailing a plank of wood, okay, from the sphere to the cube here. It's like almost a complete or a steel bar, all right? So it's not a changeable link. The only thing that you can change is how tightly, basically, the link is like fastened to this cube here. So what does that mean? So it's almost as if a low weight makes it so that the sphere, let's say it moves from right here, okay, to right here, and here's the cube. If the weight is 1, then the sphere is going to end up here and the cube's going to end up right here. But if it's 0.5, all right, the cube is only going to move halfway. And the reason is because that is the strength of the connection. It's still pulling it in the exact same relationship. It's just doing it less, okay? It's not actually changing the relationship between the sphere and the cube, all right? And so that's the main difference. A cube can move around and be animated within this container, and it can move around and whatever, and it'll never be free of this container. Whereas with a constraint, you can't change where it's constrained. You can only change how tightly and how hard that connection is. Okay, so to answer the question, what you need, if you have, let's say this is your hand controller, this is your right hand controller, this is your left hand controller, and this is the ball. You can think about it the way that we just described it, and basically talk through the kind of constraint or parent relationship you need. Okay, so let me read it. Character picks up a ball and throws it away with 2 hands. You want the left hand to be the driver, okay? That's good information. The ball follows the left hand and the right hand follows the ball. But you also want complete control over the hands so they can slide over the ball. How can you achieve this? Okay, well, the first thing is that you don't want the right hand following the ball, because you don't want it, you can't set up a parent relationship with a rigged control, okay? So anything that's referenced especially, but also within a rig, you do not want to use a parent on a rig control. You can set up a nested constraint, and that's what we'll think about doing for this, that you can have a parent relationship. But let's figure this out first, okay? So if you want the left hand driving everything, and then the right hand following the ball, but also be able to move the right hand, what do we need? Okay, the left hand can constrain the ball, okay? All right, so we're actually going to draw the link. The right hand follows the ball, but also needs to be able to move around. So normally we do a parent, right? And put the right hand in the container of the ball. But since you don't want to do that to rigged controls, we need to set up just a little quick nested constraint that will work for us. And the way you do that is you're going to create a locator, okay? And you're going to constrain the locator to the ball. And then you're going to create another locator that is parented to, here's a little container, okay, parented to the first locator, and then constrain the right hand control to the second locator. And you're going to control that right hand with this second locator, okay, because it can move around in the container of the first locator, and the first locator is following the ball, and the ball is following the left-hand control, okay? So let's jump over real quick. I can't give you this my file because it has an Animation Mentor rig in it. That's okay. But what we have here is basically the animator created a double constraint system where both hands are constrained, and the ball is basically, if you look, the ball is riding around in a locator that is constrained to the hand, but that locator is not a nested locator. There's another way we can do it, which I'll show you real quick after we're done with this first example. But this hand is actually just constrained to the ball. Okay, So again, if let's say on frame 74, I move it way out here, okay, even though I set a key just now on that frame, if I go back to frame 74, boom, it snaps right back to where it was, because you cannot change a constraint, okay? The only one you can animate and move around in is a parent relationship, which you cannot use on rigged controls, okay? So what we want to do instead is this. We need to create just one locator. It actually can be anywhere, but it helps if it's kind of right where your controls are, okay? Because you can change the pivot of anything, but just for argument's sake, let's just move this first locator out and this second one kind of where the hand is, okay? We're going to select this hand. I'm going to delete this constraint. I'm going to move this back into position. Okay. I'm going to have the ball constraint. First, I'm going to parent this first locator to the second one, like this. Now they're moving around together. I'm going to take this ball. I'm going to constrain this bigger locator, or the parent locator, and then I'm going to constrain this locator, the hand, sorry, to the second locator. So I move this one around. This new locator controls the hand. This upper locator doesn't have anything available to it because it's a constraint. It can't move. The ball now controls everything, and now the hand controls the ball. So now, if on frame 74 I want to move this hand, let's say, just like off a little bit, and then like way out here, as you can see, when we move, there's my hand, and I can animate it however I want, okay? Because it is being controlled by this locator, which is in the container. It is in the box of this bigger locator, okay? That's how we make sure we can animate, all right? The other way to do it is to have everything be one big nested constraint. The left hand and the right hand and the ball. And I'll really quickly draw that so you can see what it is. All right, you have the ball, you have the left hand, you have the right hand, and then basically you have one controller. This is the bigger controller, okay? And then it'd be easiest if you have one locator for each hand, and then maybe even one for the ball. So I'll draw the balls locator on there. And so this is a parent relationship, okay? And I'll draw this with a squiggly line so you know it's not a constraint. These are all parents, and then these are constraint. The ball to this locator, the hand to this locator, and the hand to this locator, all right? So then when you turn on the constraint with the hand, and the ball, it snaps it to these locators, 1, 2, 3, and then you can animate the entire setup, basically both hands stuck to the ball, by animating this one big controller. So that's one other way to do it. That might be a little bit too hard to kind of like figure out and work with and use, but I did want to show it to you because it is another way to handle it. So I hope that way of thinking of it is finally a kind of like an eye-opener in terms of how technically the two relationships work. If you were a child of an object, it's basically like holding your mom's hand, and she goes this way and she pulls you this way, but you can also run ahead and lag behind and kind of stretch and move and whatever, okay? But you can't ever let go. If it's a parent-child relationship, you can't ever let go. A constraint gives you the ability to attach and detach, but anytime you are attached, you're always attached in the exact same spot. You cannot move around, okay? So using a combination of a parent-child relationship with constraints ends up giving you both of those properties, the ability to turn on and off that control or that relationship, and the ability to move around within that relationship. It just depends on what controller you're using to do that. You need to use a child control that has a nested constraint in order to move it around, and you need to animate the constraint in order to let go. Okay, I hope that clears things up. I have a feeling that I made it more confusing for some people just now, but please, if you are more confused, send me a question, discuss this video in the forums. That's what it's for. The forums have been opened up. Give everybody the forum sign-up link, and we'll have a nice big bustling community to discuss animation within, and have a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your animation, and as always, rock on.